we'll discuss about FIM integration for controlling configuration. So before we get into the FIM integration configuration, so first understand this FIM integration, and we get into this procurement cycle, which is B2B cycle, and we'll see what are the list of entries will get generated and what is the process flow, and then we move on to production cycle. Finally, we go to the sales cycle, which is almost. So, so to start up with the procurement cycles, we otherwise call it as B2B cycle. Uh, to In the P2P cycle, it starts with the purchase requisition, and then we need to create the purchase order. The third is like goods receipt, and fourth we get invoice receipts, and fifth will be the payment. So in purchase requisition time and purchase order time, there is no accounting entry will get generated. In the goods receipt, the accounting entry will get generated. Okay. So there are two concepts. We call it as like moving average price, which is B, and we have standard price, yes. Okay. So in the moving and average price, the whatever the inventory movements, uh, the price will get updated. It will get inventorized in the accounting document. Okay, the value will get inventorized when we use the moment type as B. Okay. So, say for instance, like for the goods receipt, we have the accounting document as inventory account debit to GRL. Okay. So, in this case, like if you use moving average price as we, then if there are any variance in the purchase price, then those will get updated in the inventory directly. Okay. So it will not throw or it will not post any the purchase price difference upon separate. So it will get inventorized in the inventory itself. Okay. So moving on to the next one is standard price, which is yes. So say for instance, in this case, if you are posting any accounting entry, the inventory account get debited, and if there is any purchase price difference compared with the uh, material MM01 price and the PO price, if there is any difference, then it will get posted to the purchase price difference. Okay. And the credit will go to the GRIR clearing account. Okay. So this is the difference between these two. So how to configure that we'll see in the upcoming sessions. Okay. So and moving on to the next step is like invoice receipt. So during the invoice receipt, the GRIR clearing account will get debited. And if there is any exchange rate difference, so exchange rate difference uh, will trigger only in the invoice receipt, which is MIRO time only. It will get triggered. So if there is any exchange rate difference, then it will get posted. So for instance, compared with the Vigo price and the Euro price, then if there is any exchange rate difference, then it will get triggered. That's exchange rate difference. So we need to configure that as well. Okay, so once invoice receipt is posted, and then the vendor has to be paid. The next step is like the vendor account to the account. So these are all the steps. Let's get into this SAP and see how we need to configure this in OBYC setup, which is FIM integration. So first we need to create a valuation class. So valuation class, like we defined here as LEUR as a raw material, and the LEUS for semi-finished, and LEUF for finished goods. Okay. So these are the three valuation class we have defined. So let's get into the SAP and then so working with the valuation class. So let's go to the decode OEM basically. So we have to create the valuation first. So I have already created the valuation class. Is in- So I created LEUR as the raw material and LEUF as a finished good and LEVS as a semi-finished goods. So this one I create. So we have to go to the OEM SKT code and we have to create the valuation class. The next step is we have to test. So here you need to make quantity and value field mandatory. So for all the material types, which is ROH for raw material, select this, double click on this one, click on position, some, so here we have to select quantity field and value field as mandatory field, so that your quantity will get updated and value also will get updated for raw material. So likewise, you need to do it for FERT and power, which is FERT is FERT for finished good and HALB is for semi-finished goods. So, 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 quantity. It's like that we have the quantity that the conversion select. Take this box for Q quantity and value. Constant. So next step is to go to OBYC. So before we go to OBYC, then we need to create some GL accounts. So I have already created the GL accounts. So we'll straight away go to OBYC and we'll start the configuration. FI. So here you have the standard price for standard price inventory, purchase price difference, and GRI clearing. So in OBYC, these are all the setup you have to do. For GBP, PRT is for purchase price difference, WRX is for JRIF clearing account. So, and for invoice receipts, we have to do for PRX and exchange rate difference is KDM. So we have to do configuration for GBP, PRT, WRX, and KDM. Let's go to GBP first. Here we go. This is offset in inventory posting. You have to select the chart of account. Come looking. You have to select the general modifier, valuation modifier, and valuation plus. And click on save. So now we have to input this valuation booking code. Valuation booking code is nothing but the reference that we use. So here there is one correction. I have wrongly mentioned as QB, but it's actually DSLs. So I changed. So let's get into SAP system. So now you have to input the validation between. So in this case, we've created a validation between the which this validation class. So LEUR for raw material, US for simultaneous, and LEUR for this. For, so we have done the setup for inventory testing. How do we check that? Uh, so this we have done these services. Maximum more with the GRI in form of WRS. Let's place this GRI in. So input the chocolate points, which is one of which is don't step back. So we are done with the WRS. So moving on to the PRD is purchase price difference. So purchase price difference we have to go to PRD. So select the general modifier, valuation modifier, and valuation price. Concept. So valuation modifier, there is this for valuation between the so general modifier, that's not to do because it is a purchase price difference. So purchase price difference we used to return for the which is raw material. For to the price difference. Purchase price difference. And the next we want to exchange rate difference. So students can be go Instagram search faculty. done with the KDA. So this is what the configuration for P2P cycle purchase, decision purchase order, which is a involves listed. So this is verify on the integration that we will be and so moving on to the next process is production process. So production process we have different steps. Say for instance, we create the purchase order, sorry, production order. Then then we issue the goods to the production, and once the production is done, the goods receipt for this variance in settlement. The variance in settlement we are using two scenarios. So let's get into that process and we'll see this. So when you create a production order, there is no accounting entry, and moving on the step number two, goods issue to production. So once you issue the goods to production, raw material to production, or SFG to production, so you get this accounting document as raw material SFG consumption from table to inventory account, and we need to configure the GBP and DBR. Yes, it is already completed. And moving on to the step number three, which is goods receipt. So once you receive once the production is completed, you get the goods receipt. So we get SFG or FG as as out once the production is completed, which is getting debited over here, and the cost of goods manufactured is getting credited here. So which is BSX for inventory, SFG or FG, and cost of goods manufactured is GBB, AUF. So this one we have to configure. And finally, variance in settlement. Say, for instance, if there is any difference between the goods issued to production compared with the goods receipt, then we will get overs. So variance is up to two different variants we get. One is unfavorable, the other one is favorable. So if the actual cost is more than the standard cost, then you will get the unfavorable variance, which is production variance, which will get debited the production variance and credited with the cost of goods manufactured. If your actual cost is less than the standard cost, so then it will be like COGM account debit and the production variance account. So this one you have to configure. So straight away go to revise the first one you start with offsetting. So GBP compared GBP for VBR is for consumption. So this is an offsetting entry. So inventory movement will get getting offsetted, and VBR is used for consumption. So the use this for so valuation modifier as usual. We have to copy this 001, paste it here. And general modifier, as mentioned, will be here, which is for consumption from material, SFG or energy. The valuation task will use when we do work for raw material and test for semi-finished. We have for this option. And we have three consumption is from daily consumption, semi-finished consumption and finished goods consumption. So copy this. Thanks. So we are done before. Let's issue the production configuration. So we have to configure for GBB areas, which is for C version. BSX is of data. GBB. So we need to create a separate GL account for C version, and then we need to assign this particular GBB. copy this validation and they are looking to here you need to the and the general will fail. The validation class should be LUU, which is from this. And from the see what's usually. So we are done with executing. We are done with theory. Yeah. We are okay, this one we are done. So production variance review for Robinson setting. So that means is there since start. Yes, it's good and stuff. So for PRD, we go to this production process. So we have different ones. So let's like batch of process to understand first production events, the different technologies used with vice versa to have that to cost of levels. So for production variants, we need to use PRD, PRF. So for PRD, PRF, like so the system we consider if you update as PRF, PRF. So here you can see there are two differences. One is purchase price difference and production difference. Okay. So since we are updating PRF, then system considers that this is a production variance, not the purchase price variance. So in general modifier, we are not updating anything. So system considers this as a purchase price difference. So this happens in P2P cycle. This next two happens in the production cycle. So let's go to the PRD and sign this. Yes. No, let's PR. Here you see, we have not assigned anything in the general modifier. The system consider this is as some is a purchase price difference. So now we are going to assign production variance. So I'll just start with this. So we were done with the production process as well. Okay, let's understand what is sales process. This is called as the revolution cycle. So here we have sale order place and delivery period. Sale order is created, we have A01 and delivery is BL01. So during delivery, so the document, the accounting document will get generated as like C1GS account debitor and inventory account creditor. So in OBYC setup, like we have two scenarios. Okay. If sale order is a controlling object or sale order is not a controlling. So there are two scenarios of it. Okay. So when okay, this is from outside show. Okay. Okay, so we have three different business process. One is MTS, which is make to stock. MPO is make to order. P2 is extension of MPO, which is engineer to order. So at the time of the delivery, what is the controlling object for MTS? PSG, profitability segment is the controlling object. So at the time of delivery, PSG will get updated. So when it comes to MTO scenario, at the time of delivery, sale order is the controlling object. Okay, so at the time of delivery in ETO scenario, which is engineer to order, WBS is the controlling object. Okay. So we have three different scenarios. So in three different scenarios, we need to understand how this system will consider this. So if a seller is a controlling object, so in this case, MTS scenario and ETO scenario, sale order is not a controlling object. So only in the make to order scenario, Sale order is a controlling object. So in that case, VAX is what we have to define in the is devices. So when it comes to MTS scenario and ETO scenario, sale order is not a controlling object. So we need to use VA. So we'll see this particular configuration in the upcoming session. Uh, and right now we will configure this VKOS setup for the server, which is FI SD integration. Okay. So these are the five different combinations: customer to material account key, customer with account key, material with account key, and etc. So it's like the you click on it normally starts with the list for sales and distribution. Condition type, there are two conditions, KOFI and KOFK. So KOFI is when it is used. So sale order is not a controlling object. So that time only we use this KOFI. So which is used for the MTS and ETO scenario. So MTS means make to stock and ETO means engineer to order scenario. KOFK when it is used, when seller is a controlling object and use. So business process will be like make to order scenario. So we'll copy both and assign the fields. Chart of events. Sales organization. Here you have to assign the revenue which you are looking at. Yes. So I'll assign both the same here for the scenario. So we have done with FIMM and FISD integration script. And in the upcoming session, we'll create the activity type and we'll do cost content structure tracing for controlling single bucket. If you have any questions in drop, you know, feel free to share this video, subscribe as well. Thank you so much.